Hello! Just back from the St Malo to Rotterdam trip, and I thought I would talk you through the bike that I was riding. The Van Nicholas Rowtag. So, let's get into it. Just a caveat as you watch these next few clips. I've had this bike a few years, and it's a gravel bike. It gets used exactly how it's supposed to be. It's ridden across countries numerous times. It gets used for work, it gets used for commuting, it gets used for guiding, it gets at least one gravel ride every single week. It goes on multiple tours every single year. It goes out in summer, winter, rain, you name it. This is the bike that I get on. So enjoy. This isn't just a review of the last 6 months. This is a review of years of hard use.
Somebody throw
Oh, Mick, you're going!
Keep going to the left, mate. Down here it is, mate.
My mudguards didn't work.
Oh!
So, here we are. It is a Van Nicholas Rowtag titanium bike. It's the size small. So there you go, there you can see the name there. Beautiful frame. I've been riding Van Nicholas for a few years now and I absolutely love them. The details on this are fantastic. I mean, look at how that flattened top tube, adding a little bit of rigidity to it. There's little details all over this bike which I absolutely love. So, where to start? I might as well start up at the front, haven't we? Redshift bars and stem. These are absolutely fantastic. I've been running these for at least 5 years now. I don't tend to use this aero section on the front, but what I do is I run the Garmin for navigation, so that's there. I have the quad lock mount, which is brilliant because you plan a route, and I never really plan a route to go to cafes and things like that. When I get a little bit hungry, I'll get my phone out, plonk it on there, divert off route a little bit, and that's what that's mainly used for. And then I have a exposure mount just underneath the front there. What I do a lot of is bike packing, and I run a salsa cradle. So what this means is, because everything's not here next to the stem, it means I can just bolt the salsa cradle on and away we go. There's no faff with moving everything, which is quite nice, and it has a lovely flare to it. This is the 46cm one, 46cm width bar, and it's absolutely beautiful. The hoods are in a great place, and I love this long flat section as well, so these are great. Paired with that, I have of course a Redshift stem. Would not be without this now on a gravel bike. 20mm of suspension I think, but it's absolutely fantastic. You don't even know it's there, but go for a ride without it and you soon realise how good it is. So, front of the bike, mud hugger mudguard. Quite often run a mudguard, especially if I'm on a tour like that. If it rains, it just keeps you dry, doesn't it? Carbon fork, lovely bit of kit. It's got the anything cages on it. When I rode across Spain, I had bottle cages on here to carry extra water and things like that. On the front is just an Open Pro rim. I have some fantastic club mates, and they bought me these wheels for my 40th a few years ago, so I'm still running the same one on the front. It's a Hope Hub on an Open Pro rim, and on top of that I have a Schwalbe tyre. It is the G1 all-rounder. Not my favourite tyre, rolls okay, but not me. I haven't punctured it yet. It's been on about 6 months, but I do have a lot of friends who have issues with these and punches, so it's quite a lightweight tyre. Wouldn't be my first choice. Getting onto the main frame, eh? There's bolt on for your top tube. There's 3 bottle cage mounts. There's one underneath. I'm not currently using it, but that's great to add tools in there if you want to use it. My favourite bit of the bike though. Check out that yoke down there. How beautiful is that? Fantastic, isn't it? Lovely little details on it all over. I love these sculptured dropouts at the back as well. These are absolutely beautiful. And the chamfered head tube, and now it curves in at the bottom. Great, adding that little bit of extra rigidity to it. My favourite thing though is that it's got rack mounts. I tend to use a rack an awful lot, and I've had this titanium tumbleweed rack on now for about 3 years, and it's absolutely brilliant. Ultra lightweight, but it has the addition of these anything cages mounts. So I absolutely love this. It just lives on the bike permanently. A couple of things I don't like about this bike then. Well, number one is it has a press fit bottom bracket. Not the biggest fan. I would prefer a T47 on there, T45 rather. It would be a lot better, wouldn't it? Screwing bottom bracket. Admittedly, I've never had any trouble with Van Nicholas bikes creaking on press fit bottom brackets, but this one did develop a creak with a couple of days to go. But it was pouring down and then boiling hot, so maybe it's just got a little bit dry in there. The other thing also is the rack mounts at the back. If you can get you down here and show you how close this is. You see the bottom of the rack? Look at how close that is to the axle. So this is an Old Man Mountain Robert axle project axle, and it just clears the rack. The bolt holes need to be a little bit higher up, in my opinion. Maybe even only a centimetre, 10mm. But I've got so many racks that don't fit this. You couldn't always just file the bottom of the leg down, but it'd be a lot better if it was just a little bit higher up. It wouldn't take much in the design work. You can see how long this cast piece of titanium is here. Just make it a little bit longer up here. Add the mount a little bit higher up. So that is one minor gripe. What is nice about it though, if you take the rack off, it's just a blank hole. It's brilliant. Your bolt fits in a recessed hole on the other side, which is great. But yeah, I wouldn't get a gravel bike without a rack mount nowadays. The other thing I don't like is here at the front. So I'll just come around here and show you. Can you see that's the cable port for going into the frame, and you'll notice it's got a zip tie around it. So I drill these and I run a full length of outer from the shifter all the way to the rear. That means if you're out on a tour, or you're out on a big ride somewhere and you break a cable, you can just go into a bike shop, buy a cable, slide it straight in. You don't have to worry about trying to feed it through little holes at the other end or anything like that. It can go straight through. So that's why I do that. You know, there's a barrel adjuster there, so you can adjust it on the fly as well. But yeah, 2-3 little minor gripes. T45 bottom bracket, sort the head tube ports out and move that up a little bit at the back, and it would make this frame a lot better in my opinion. And maybe nowadays as well, it's getting on a bit as this frame, maybe increase the tyre clearance. This is a 45mm tyre. There's still plenty of room down there, but you know, things are moving on, aren't they? So why not increase that clearance? Other little things on the bike. So I'm running a 12-speed GRX group set, 165mm cranks, so quite short. It's a 40 tooth on the front, and then I have a 1051 on the back. So on this trip it was fairly flat. We did a couple of the bergs in Belgium, but they're not especially steep ones. I think the Kemmelberg was the steepest. It's not especially steep, so I didn't even use the top two sprockets, but I did use the 10 plenty. I mentioned the front wheels, the old birthday wheels. Well, I broke it in Portugal a few weeks back. I break a lot of things. I seem to break a hell of a lot of frames, and I break a lot of wheels. So this was a bit of a panic buy wheel. So it is a Hunt gravel wheel. There you go, 4-season gravel wheel set. So we will see how this goes. If I get more than 18 months out of a wheel, it's pretty damn good. That last wheel I had, it lasted me 18 months, and it lasted me 18 months before that as well. So we'll see how these go. The noise isn't that bad. I don't like overly noisy wheels, but it's not too bad, is that? Not too bad. The back tyre, yeah, another panic buy. I needed a tyre because I wore mine out in Portugal. I didn't expect to be riding every day. I work as a guide and I had to ride every day. Usually it's only 1 every 3, so I wore the tyre out. And I bought this, which is a Continental Terra Speed. This was brand new before the trip, and it's nearly worn out. It was only a 700-mile trip, and it's virtually worn out already. So a bit of a poor do that. I had no issues with it. We were mainly on champagne, gravel, cobbles, tarmac. But to wear out in 700 mile, I think is pretty poor. It didn't roll especially well either. I must say there's a lot better out there. So yeah, I'll soon be changing that, and I'll let you know what I get in future. SK Speed Rocker mudguard on the back, that's great, that just kind of lives on there. Doesn't rattle, doesn't make a noise, so it's brilliant. What else? Thompson seat pin, I've had that years, it's about 10 years old, that it just keeps going strong, you can't quite see it behind the seat clamp. And the saddle, these are brilliant. So I ran rolls at San Marcos for 20 years. Put a bit of weight on, and then I couldn't get on with it again. and I broke a Cervelo frame. I did say I break a lot of bikes. I think I broke about 12 frames in my time. And so I took the Cervelo back, but I robbed the saddle off it because I had Paribes Paris in a few weeks. So I ended up riding it on a Van Nicholas bike with my roll saddle on. But when I picked up the Cervelo, it had one of these on. And I got it home and then went, oh, bloody hell, there's a saddle on it. So I rang them up and the shop went, don't worry about it, it's an old saddle. And I rode it and I absolutely loved it. So I actually ride these on my gravel bikes and road bikes now. They are a ferocious price. They are £15. Yeah, you heard that right. 15. Ritchie Comp Stream. They are fantastic. I absolutely love them. Probably wouldn't be a bike fitter's choice, but you know, I get on with them, so why not? One last little detail that I must tell you about is these. Old Man Mountain Hemlock, I think they're called. Anything mounts cages. So you can get a little bit that goes under here, so it has a little foot if you want to use traditional bags and strap them on. Or I have the actual bags themselves, and they are brilliant. So 2 little hooks, hook in there. The next bit slots into there, you turn it, and they are rock solid. Proper waterproof panniers that don't budge. Smashing over the cobbles. There was no movement whatsoever. And I can't wait to use these even more. Maybe a trip towards the end of the year, and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, there's my Van Nicholas bike. Let me know in the comments if you want to know anything else about it. There's a few design tweaks I'll do. You never know, I might even get a new bike next year. I've been running these a few years. So fingers crossed I can save up some money. But yeah, beautiful bike. Titanium, obviously, the best thing about it. 5 years time, it still looks exactly the same as the day you bought it. You can't scratch it, there's no paint, and it won't rust. So there we have it. Let me know in the comments anything else you'd like to know, or if you'd like to see any of the other bikes.